Jennifer's body.
Is that a song?
It's my song.
Jennifer's body.
Yeah, I want your body.
Okay. Man, I tell you, that's the one thing this movie really needed the most was more of Jennifer's body. Because I believe I was promised boobage, and there was no boobage.
We were.
I want to get that out of the way right now. If you people are only listening to hear about the part where we see Megan Fox naked, it doesn't happen.
No, that's the horror show right there.
Yeah.
I mean, because that was, I mean, even if they didn't show her boobs, these days you can show somebody's ass.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of get away with it. And I'll take her ass. I'm an ass man anyway.
The ass would have worked just fine.
Yeah.
It would have felt like an appetizer, but still, you can subsist on appetizers.
Yeah. And then there was a part where now this is the horror right here. There's a part where she's coming out the water. Mm-hmm. And it gets right to the tip of her ass crack when she's coming out. And then it cuts. And when they did that, I was like, ah! But yeah, we're talking about Jennifer's body. Jennifer's body is hot, boy, but the movie's just blah.
Yeah, the movie's just eh. You know, it's unfortunate, too, because I liked the script when it first got published. It's, of course, by Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno, which I know is, controversial for some reason I've yet to figure out.
Why is that controversial?
Because people are like, people don't talk like that. I'm like, really? Because actually in my high school, everyone had their own weird little dialect. So, yeah, they kind of did when I was going to high school.
Yeah,
maybe y'all went to boring high schools. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, come on. We saw Ebonics in the movie. We would think nobody talks like that either.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, so, but I'm the kind of person, I'm not crazy about the dialogue because sometimes it's really funny because this movie had some really funny bits of dialogue in it. Mm-hmm. But there were times where it just seemed like it was really trying too hard to be edgy.
It was forced. It felt really forced. And the problem is it's so painfully obvious what they were trying to do here. They were trying to make Heathers again.
Yeah.
And you can't make Heathers again. Other people have tried and they've failed. It's not Heathers. It's not even close to Heathers.
Yeah. If you remember Heathers, people, that was the movie with Christian Slater and Winona Ryder.
Which I know now sounds bad, but back then it was awesome.
No, it dealt with a murder in high school that centered around a group of girls all named Heather. Yeah. And they were like the cool girls in school who treated everybody like shit.
It was a similar setup. It was like a girl who had, more thought in her head, who was more normal, who was friends with really pretentious, kind of nasty, but, hot girls.
Yeah, yeah.
and the new guy she kind of befriends who decides that, these girls need to die. You hate them, don't you? And there's a lot of that element of feeling going on here of the relationship between the main character played by Amanda Seyfried or Seyfried,
I think it is, yeah.
and then Megan Fox's more cheerleady type character.
Yeah, so
she's a Heather.
She is a Heather. Yeah, hotter than a Heather though.
Except this kind of fuses her with Christian Slater.
Yeah, because it mixed with some demonic shit going on. Because I missed some of this. Now, you tell me what I missed here. Maybe I saw the whole thing and I just missed the credits. But
you didn't miss boobies.
I would be so mad if you said, no, booby. The movie opened up with two nipples right on front of the screen.
First shot in the movie is her with a dildo. It's awesome. Best movie ever. It was like It was like the end of Requiem for a Dream, except hot because you only saw that one part. You don't know why. Never mind. Okay.
Ass to ass. But no, so this deals with, like you said, it's two girls who are unlikely friends, but because they grew up together, they're still close. And we have
Amanda Seyfried?
Amanda Seyfried. How can I forget the other girl's name?
Megan Fox. You forgot Megan Fox?
When you mentioned boobs, I just started thinking about that. Everything went out of my head. No, Megan Fox and Amanda Seyfried, they're good friends in high school, grew up together. Amanda Seyfried has grown up to be this nerdy kind of, and in fact, her name is Needy in the movie. Yeah.
Which is telling.
Yeah. And then Megan Fox is this cheerleader, and she's so hot.
Named as Boobs.
Booby Mac ass. No, what's her name in this movie? Because there's something.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Check, though. I was trying to look for a last name. I don't know if it's Jennifer, like Check Yourself or something, whatever. But Jennifer is the hottest girl in school, and she knows it. She even says, look, I can do anything with these boobs and get anybody to do what I tell them to do. And she's just gone through life manipulating people.
Sure.
And you wonder how these two girls have remained friends. Well, it's because Jennifer is always manipulating Needy. I mean, Jennifer's an insecure girl, even though she's so beautiful, and she needs that somebody around to push around so that she can kind of feel important.
It's like herself. You and me.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people don't know you are the puppet master behind this whole thing.
But that'll come up later in our special superhero edition.
Got your hand in my ass right now. Hello, everybody. But so This
Did I throw you off? I'm sorry.
No, I was like, no, I threw myself. I was like, damn, your hand on my ass. Why did I even say that?
that was awkward. I gotta go wash my hands.
I know you and I sit up here, but this whole manipulative trait of Jennifer's kind of backfires on her when she sees this rock band at this little dumpy bar in town, because it's a small place where what is it called? The Devil's Balls or something?
Well, the town is called the Devil's Fuckhole or something.
Something like that. It's like it's some kind of small town, and so when this rock band comes in, of course, all the teenagers are like, "Hey, this is one of the most exciting things to happen." So they go see them, and when this fire mysteriously breaks out that just kills tons of people and destroys the whole bar, this band seems oddly unfazed by it. Yeah,
like, wow, cool.
They just want to get Jennifer into the van and go away. And I'm thinking to myself, look, I've wanted to fuck a girl hard so many times, but there's a fire breaking up behind me. I'm running. You know, I'll get a number and call her back.
Come on, that's not true. You know, once you're out of that bar, you're like, okay, I'm safe. Ooh, there's Megan Fox.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else would fade to black.
Hey, girl, you like you need some counseling.
Oh, Dreamweaver. Hair be blowing in the wind and stuff. Yeah. Next thing you know, she's all roofied out.
I brought you to safety. But yeah, so this band picks her up, drives off, and Needy sees that this band is like, they weren't concerned about any of the death and chaos going on around them. Later that night, Jennifer shows back up.
Sort of,
yeah. She's covered in blood, and she's spewing up bile that almost has a life of its own.
Yeah, she's like pulling meat out of the refrigerator and chowing it down, and she's making demonic roars. I was like, dude, that's so hot.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Damn, if there's anybody I would let throw up on me and make animal sounds, it's Megan Fox.
Yeah, pretty much.
So all the guys in the audience are like, hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, but Needy, you know, she's not into it, so she's like, this is peculiar. So if that's not strange enough, because Jennifer just disappears right after that, bodies start disappearing.
Yeah.
The kids in the high school start showing up murdered. So
not just murdered, but partially eaten.
Yeah, torn limb to limb, stomach all ripped open.
Might be the point where I draw the line with Megan Fox sex.
I might let her make a little puncture wounds here and there. You know, I only need one kidney, so
that's true.
Take it. But it's funny because nobody else in town seems to make the correlation between somebody just burned down this bar and now all these kids are missing. But Needy says this is no coincidence. So we figure out that Jennifer is something. We don't know if she's a vampire, a monster, or what is going on with her, but she's come back as some sort of a hungry creature, and she's taking out all these kids in school.
Jennifer's evil.
I know.
No, I mean, she's actually evil, not high school evil. I've been through the occult section at the library 5 times.
Our library has an occult section?
She's eating boys. They, make her really pretty and glowy, and her hair looks amazing. And then when she's hungry, she's weak and cranky and ugly. I mean, ugly for her. Don't you get it? The dance. It'll be like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Needy, I think you need help.
Oh my God, you don't believe me.
But what about the dance?
Who cares about the goddamn dance, Chip?
I do. I ordered your corsage. It's an orchid. It was like $12.
I'll be at the dance. I just need to keep an eye on Jennifer. Promise me you're not gonna go.
If there's any time this manipulation of hers has worked, it's now, because she really needs to survive off the blood of males.
Because as they say at one point, it's like when she's fed, she's powerful. Hell, she's practically immortal, and she's popular, and she's so beautiful. And as Amanda says, and her hair is just incredible.
Yeah.
But when she hasn't eaten for a while, she becomes ugly. Well, for Jennifer.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is to say, still hotter than any girl you know.
They tried to make Megan Fox ugly, and she just looked like any girl I would date. I mean, at a bar any day.
She's still hotter than any girl I've ever been with.
Look like a girl who just has a couple of pimples, and maybe she hadn't slept in 24 hours.
Yeah, a couple. And she had one. And even the pimple, you were like, wow, that's kind of a hot pimple.
I said, I would fuck that pimple.
I fuck that shit till it pops.
What you say? Fuck benzo peroxide, whatever that shit is. I got it some for. But so this all sounds like, you know what? I've seen this kind of story before. I can almost even see how it's going to unfold. But we got the dialogue of Diablo Cody in there. She's hip and whatnot now, and it seems like a typical horror movie with some forced dialogue from Diablo Cody.
And it really does. That's the biggest problem here. It does feel forced, and I think the problem isn't really with the script so much as it was with the director. Now, will you refresh my memory as to who was the director?
Yes, I will. The director of this is the girl who directed Girl Fight and also directed Aeon Flux.
Okay, which is like a one really spectacular hit, one spectacular miss.
Well, yeah, Karen Kusama.
Yes, and this is a spectacular miss for her because honestly, it's just awkward to watch this movie play out. I mean, I was telling you on the phone earlier, remember the part in the original X-Men when Storm goes, do you know what happens to a toad when it's hit by lightning? The same thing as everything else. Which is, the whole audience went, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, what does that mean?
If she had said it the way that it was actually supposed to be said, which was, same thing as everything else, it would have been funny. But they didn't even bother. This is an example of a director who didn't bother to look for cadences in the script or the way that something that's written in this way with lots of lingo should be, well, directed. And she didn't even bother. She just directed a horror film that has lots of music video type moments in it.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's one of the worst parts about it. You're like, actually, the moment you're kind of getting into the story or even the back and forth between character, and then all of a sudden she goes into slow motion to a heavy metal song for no apparent reason.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, this is meant. Okay, Diablo Cody said, I wanted to make this movie to show that, hey, girls are into horror movies too, and girls can be tough. But it really comes across like some 13-year-old's wet dream because of all the rock music that's in this and the soundtrack, and then all the teasing with the hinted at lesbianism going on.
Well, not even hinted at. I mean, okay. Look,
well, it's teasing through most of it.
Yeah.
Then there's a makeout scene.
Let's just say that was worth the price of admission.
It was hot. You know, call me 13, but it was hot. But
there may have been no boobs, but Megan Fox and Amanda Seyfried making out at length.
Oh, yeah.
With close-ups of tongues and everything.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude, come on. That's going to keep me going through the next month.
Yeah, I thought I was reaching for my cell phone. I had my hand in my crotch. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I was
bank's so full, man. They're asking me if I want to set up a security deposit on their site. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, so you want a joint account with this?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, my rates just went up. Oh, shit.
But it didn't come across as some girl empowerment movie or even something like I'm a girl and I love horror movies. It seemed like it was a movie where we want to make these girls seem tough, but that dialogue came out really bad when they were trying to be tough because it came off with too much attitude. And that's too bad because in the beginning I was like, well, I can see that this is nothing special as far as a horror movie goes, but I'm laughing at some of this dialogue because it's meant to be sort of a horror, edgy comedy.
Right. And I would have bought it more if I'd felt like there was actually something between these two girls other than that sort of, the pathetic relationship that it really is.
Yeah.
It felt like if they had made it where at one point they actually were really close, because there's certainly a point later on when it reveals why, Jennifer is the way she is now, where you really feel her, you see her as a real person. You see her finally as bare naked psychologically anyway, and just a little girl, really a scared little girl, and that's a nice moment. It really is, because it grounds the film for a second. But then you're like, okay, well, that's the only moment we had like that, and we never feel that between her and Amanda's character or Needy. There should have been that.
And you know what?
You just don't care. You're like, why don't you just kill that fucking bitch right from the start?
Yeah, before she even turns into anything. It's just like she should have been dead a long time ago, because she is a bitch, man. And you know what? You're exactly right, because not only would it give you more dimension into Jennifer's character, but think how much more that conflict would have meant something when they actually had to go at it with each other. Yeah. I mean,
as that dialogue, the back and forth, like I said, that hipster dialogue that Diablo Cody writes, whether you like it or not, is only the sort of thing that grows up between really people who are really close together like that. And it would have felt less awkward if you had felt some real warmth there between those two.
Well, when you put it that way, that's kind of what this movie's missing. You can get by with a story that we've seen before because, hey, we've seen everything these days. What makes it is the relationship between characters, and that's what's missing from this movie. You don't care about anybody. The movie is so concerned with being so cool and so hip, especially with its dialogue, that they don't really make these characters people to me.
Well, the director seems to want to over-hip the dialogue that's already there rather than just kind of leave it simple, which would have worked better. Like I said, everything is just so overdone here. I mean, there's even points where the soundtrack starts up for the next scene in completely inappropriate ways. We're like, wait, they're not even done talking yet, and you're playing blaring rock music on top of it.
Yeah.
It's just it feels like so much like there's a competition of ladies here trying to set their will down. And there's a point in this movie where like they have to throw in, oh look, Amanda Seyfried's character Needy's a big fan of the Evil Dead. Okay, so was that your one point? The girls like horror too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cool point.
Maybe you guys should just get together and write an actual horror movie instead of whatever this was.
Yeah, I mean, dialogue is said like this: "He went all Benihana on my ass," and it's like, oh Jesus, man, come on. But I there's some things I did like in the movie. Like I said, I like the setup. I mean, because it did feel like they were setting up one of those really sarcastic, cynical high school movies, which I kind of like. And, they went off rail with that very soon. But I also like some of the people in the movie. The rock band, Off Shoulder, is that what they were called? Low Shoulder.
Low Shoulder, yeah.
Yeah. The guy who's the front man for that, Adam Brody.
What's he from?
He was in that movie In the Land of Women.
Okay.
Is what I remember him from.
Okay.
And I like that character. Some of his dialogue was terrible too, but for some reason, the guy has a lot of charisma. You could see why he was probably able to lure people in at the beginning.
Yeah, they actually they were able to carry that type of dialogue a lot better. There's a very funny sequence with the whole band and Jennifer that anybody else it might have been really awkward coming out of, but he does manage to make it work.
Yeah, because it was an awkward scene and it did have one really bad part in there that they forced to try to be funny.
We come here tonight to sacrifice the body of...
What's your name again, Tiffany?
My name is Jennifer.
Super. We come here tonight to sacrifice the body of Jennifer from Devil's Kettle.
Please don't do this. I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
Do you know how hard it is to make it as an indie band these days? There's so many of us. And it's like if you don't get on Letterman or some retarded soundtrack, you're screwed. Okay? Satan is our only hope. We're in league with the beast now. And we have to make a really big impression on him. And to do that, we're going to have to butcher you. And bleach you. And then Dirk here is going to wear your face. Relax, I'm kidding him at the face. The rest is going to happen, though.
And let me ask you, did you like the ending of the movie?
Actually, I did like the ending.
I really liked the ending of the movie.
It was very unexpected, and even though, like I said, I was just kind of meh about the film, it kind of made me want to see a sequel, with the further adventures of this girl. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. She's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, no, it did kind of set up something cool, and if maybe they could get either a stronger script with more character, or maybe a different director. I don't know what the problem really was. I can't pinpoint it.
She needs to fight werewolves, clearly. Or just kill everyone involved with making Twilight movies.
Yeah. People don't get up and leave during the credits, because some people got up and start to walk out. Yeah, stay for it. They wrap a whole lot of things up, and then they work it in with the credits really well. There's some things to like about this. There's some cleverness to it, but overall, it's just like you said. I'm gonna repeat what you said, and then you can agree with me. No, you said you said on the phone. You told me if you were to rent this, it would be a good rental. It'll be enjoyable. Yeah. And that's how I feel.
Yeah, I completely agree. It'd be a decent rental. You wouldn't be really disappointed. In fact, you might even go, man, I can't believe you guys didn't like that. We did like it. We just liked it as a rental. You'll be disappointed going to the theater all looking forward to naked Megan Fox boobies and lots of carnage and a really funny script when it really doesn't have any of those things. No. It's just kind of okay.
Yeah, no real gore either.
Yeah, there's a little bit, but it's really kind of, most of it's like shadows of stuff. You know
what they do. They show you shadow, then they show the blood splashing on the wall.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's more like the only real special effects there that are stuff with Megan Fox where you see she's got lots of teeth, or when she's throwing up blood. It's like, really? We want to see Megan Fox throwing up nasty black bile? Oh, that's hot.
Actually, with her.
No, that's still not hot.
If she's throwing up my black bile, it's all right.
That's going to stick with me in an unpleasant fashion.
I'm sorry.
Thought you only murdered boys.
I go both ways.